Hi, this is Erica with Your Classroom Academy, and the strategy this week is Foursquare. Foursquare is for students in the math classroom, although it can be adapted to other classrooms as well, and it helps them break down word problems that might seem a little intimidating or overwhelming. So for example, in the first quadrant or the first square of the problem, they're really looking at what is happening in that word problem. So they're interacting with the text and breaking it down, looking at the information and what the question is asking them to solve. Then in the second quadrant or the second box, they're looking at solving the math, doing the problem, doing the math as much as they're able to. In the third box or quadrant, they are writing down the steps that they used in that second box or quadrant. How did you solve it? What steps did you use? And they're using their academic language in this box to explain the steps that they took. The fourth box is kind of up to you as a teacher. Do you want them to summarize all of the boxes? Do you want them to write a question, a leveled question? Do you want them to, how do you want them to engage in that fourth box? That's completely up to you as the teacher. I would print out the word problems that you're going to use and tape them into that first box or quadrant for your students. So that way they can engage in those word problems, they can interact with them or write on them directly. And if you have students working in pairs or groups of 4 as they rotate through these stations, then I would have them switch off. So each partner is responsible for a different box, or each pair of partners is responsible for a different box. And then when they rotate to the next problem, then they would switch roles. So if they were responsible for box 1 and box 3, now they're responsible for box 2 and box 4. Anytime you want students to be writing and talking about math, you want to make sure that they have access to their resources and access to a word bank. So make sure they have their notes, a textbook, their resources with them as they rotate through these stations, and also have a word bank visually handy, or that if they have access in their notes to the vocabulary, that's great. Instead of having students working independently on a page, a worksheet full of math problems, this is a great way to get students up, collaborating with a peer or a group of students on review problems or doing quiz, test review, study guide, whatever. Just a different way to get students to talk about math, discuss content in a much more engaging way. And then you can be walking around the classroom, listening to conversations, and you can really gauge whether or not they're understanding the content. And you can see as you're walking around the room if they're getting it or not. So, and seeing if they're using the resources. So it's a great way for you to check for understanding actively as they're engaging with and solving the math.